Hello, Professor. Hello, general audience. My name is Dan Havis. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about Kyberlight sabers and more particularly Kyberlight brand identity. I was fortunate enough to go out there, email the company. They gave me a response very quickly back, and I got about a 40 to 45 minute phone call with them, and I asked him about 20 different questions. I was surprised that he answered them all, and this is what the presentation will be about. So here we have Kyberlight brand identity. What we're going to talk about is the brand identity itself, the brand voice. We're going to talk about the brand value, and we're going to talk about the brand personality. This is a little short skit here to kind of get you pumped into it. Listen to the sound of that, Kyberlight sound. That's when you hear that sound, you think Kyberlight. So who is Kyberlight's ideal customer? Well, they are the Star Wars fan base. I myself am a Star Wars person. It's also going to be the ones that spend less than $1,000. It's also going to be the ones that want to do that casual role play, and also the ones that just want to have an overall fun experience. Some people that want to go out on Halloween dressed as a Jedi or a Sith will go out and buy a Kyberlight saber because it's inexpensive. Here's just an example of somebody that has a Kyberlight, how bright the 320 lumens and how it just projects. It's just a very nice overall lightsaber. So what were some of the pain points Kyberlight had to solve? Well, they had to solve durability. That was one of them. They had to solve basically customization, how affordable it is, and also technology. In this picture here we have 20 different colors, or 20 different built-in colors to the saber. You'll see it here, different ones going up, and then also a picture of the customization for their hilts. Basically they're saying if you bought one package for $2.99, you would have 20 different pieces in there, which would give you an overall 100 different combinations for your Kyberlight saber. What is Kyberlight's personality was another good question I asked him. Well, he says, well, we're helpful, we're friendly, we're straightforward, and lastly, they like to show a lot of excitement. When I got the phone call from him, I felt the energy through the phone with what he was telling me. So I believe fully in that. And here's a simple picture of somebody off Geekery View from YouTube. He also wanted to talk about Kyberlight sabers. He's not a part of the company, but he was so enthused about getting that saber, he showed it off. Who are Kyberlight's top 3 competitors was another question I asked. One was Saber Forge, there was Disney Edge, and then also there was Ultra Saber. You'll see that in these 3 images here. They're icons at least, or logo icons. How is Kyberlight different from the other competitors out there? Well, they are straightforward, and he was very straightforward with all the questions I gave him. They says, well, we have the customization that works with our Kyberlight sabers. We have the quality packaging. When you get that thing in the mail, you know that you had spent your money wisely and you got quality back. He says it's that affordability that we talked about earlier. You can get the base one for $199. You can go up to $299 and even more from there. The more Kyberlight sabers you buy, the better you save. And also they talked about the lifetime guarantee on their saber itself. So what is Kyberlight's 5 best areas? Well, one, it's their durability in their blade. Okay, they basically showed on a YouTube video that they drove a car over it, they smacked it with a sledgehammer, and it still looked the same. So that's definitely a durable or indestructible blade. They talked about the 20 built-in colors. You have value. You don't have to buy 20 different blades with 20 different colors. You just buy a Kyberlight saber, you get those colors. They talked about the hilt combinations. You basically aren't buying a Kyberlight, another person buys a Kyberlight and they go, huh, they all look the same. No, you got the customization. The rich sound effects, the FX sounds. They also talked about, once again, the affordability of it. What are the 5 best words to describe Kyberlight was a question I asked. He says, well, they're innovative, they are scrappy, they're fun, and they also are very helpful. And he says, you pick the last one. And I thought about it and I said, you know what? I think educational would be the best one for that. Because that's how I learned about Kyberlight. I went on YouTube and I said, who's Kyberlight? And they educated me on it. So what's wrong with the Kyberlight brand? Well, He says, well, our technology is kind of mediocre. Our customization we could get better on. He says our lighting at night is great at 320 lumens, but in the daytime you couldn't see the blades very well. And he says our websites need to be redone. Customers would get on there, get confused, and it just didn't help overall. Here's an example of one of their boards that go inside the Kyberlight Saber. The other companies could go into their PC and actually literally change the colors, where they're stuck with what's ever on the board. They have upgraded the Kyberlight Saber 4 times now, and the last upgrade was Clash on Clash and muting the sound. This is also an upgrade they did. They changed the sabers to colors, so in the daytime you actually can see your saber and you know what color it's on. And then another question, how will we test the Kyberlight brand perception? Well, that's easy. They say analytics. On everybody that clicks a certain page out there, they're going to get the information. Who are their customers? They know that by doing surveys and doing trade shows. You're going to have a lot of people at trade shows that are going to ask questions. They're going to write down those questions. They're going to come up with ideas and then upgrade as well. Just like I have here in the image, a lightsaber market. There are tons of lightsabers out there, and Kyberlight's just only one of them. How can Kyberlight simplify the brand identity? That was a great question I asked him. He says, well, we're going to educate our customers. We're going to have a presence in the community. We're going to be truthful, and we're going to definitely specialize in a category. We can't take on the whole world. We can't take on the whole market, but we can take care of the stuff that nobody else wants to take care of, and that's where Kyberlight focuses. Here's Kyberlight with a guy wearing a Kyberlight t-shirt. You see how it's lighting up? It's showing technology there. It's saying, hey, look at me, my presence. When I think of Kyberlight, they're slick. How does Kyberlight's logos communicate the brand? Well, that's simple. Their name, Kyberlight, comes from Kyber crystals, which was in a game, a Star Wars game, a couple of them actually. So Star Wars fan-based people would really know what Kyberlight crystals are all about. They also wanted to be slick. In this image here, you can see where it's real sleek. You can see also that when you see or hear Kyberlight logo or looking at the logo, you understand that it's affordable. You're not going to pay more than $100 or $200 for your saber. And then also the colors. You have the black, the gray, and the new color they just introduced is bone color. They found out on some of the websites it was hard to read. They wanted to make sure that they had printed material that's in lighter colors. You may not be able to see this in this image here. I don't know, based off the camera. And then another question, how do you interact with your customers? He says, well, that's easy. We definitely have a presence on the internet. You'll see that in YouTube. You'll see that in Twitter. You'll see that in Pinterest. He says, we do trade shows. And here in this picture here, you see there's a guy that's dressed up like a Wookiee, and there's a woman dressed here like a Jedi saber, or a Jedi. And you can see them playing back and forth with the lightsabers. He says, we do phone interviews. And, of course, I had a phone interview with them. I was shocked to actually get it. He said I was the first one out of any college to be interested in Kyberlight, and it was kind of neat. That's probably why they reached out so fast to me. He also says we do surveys at the trade shows. What is Kyberlight's streamlined visual? That was another question I asked. He says, well, we want to upgrade our website, make it less confusing. We want to have colors. We want to have accessories that have more customization than what they have already. And if you have been following Kyberlight, you already know 3 years from now they have put out a lot more that you can buy and customize. And they says we'll continue to educate our customers. Here's some examples. You have the different things that can go on the hilts, the different colors. You have the blades, and you have other pieces for the hilt. What does Kyberlight's voice say? Well, they say it's authentic, it's real, it's trusting, and it's educational. That's what it says. In this image here, we have a guy that's just basically saying improved swing sensibility, enhanced sound effects, and the new mute button, which is in their 4th edition upgrade of the board. That is all I have to say for you today. I have a short video. It's less than a minute. Stick around. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you learned a little bit about brand identity with Kyberlight. Thank you. I'm Dan.